5 years ago when I bought my first power station, it was a 550 watt-hour unit that cost me $550. Well, today you can get about double that in a power station for less than that price, which is awesome. And there are lots of power stations out there in the 1024 watt-hour class that are expandable to 5 kilowatt hours. And I've tested several of them. I have another 1 kilowatt-hour power station that I'm going to go through, and this one's got a 7-year warranty, which I really like, plus 4,000 cycles, an 1800 watt inverter with 3600 watt peak. All that's very good, so let's get into it. Now, this is the Aferiy P180 Pro version, and I did notice there's a second non-expandable version on their website, so please bear that in mind. This is the expandable version, and it is expandable to just over 5,000 watt hours using their batteries. Now, they do use a lithium iron phosphate battery. They claim it has 4,000 cycles. I've noticed that a lot of these power stations today are listing cycle life a little bit differently. The old classic standard was to 80%, meaning that after so many cycles, usually 3,500 to 4,000 cycles, the total battery capacity will have dropped to 80% of its original capacity. So if you had a 1,000 watt-hour battery, after 4,000 cycles, it would be basically an 800 watt-hour battery. That's it. Now, the change that I've noticed is they're not always listing what that drop is to. I've seen 6,000 watt hours to 70%, which is kind of basically the same as 4,000 to 80%, by the way. But now with Aferiy's, they're listing 4,000 cycles, but they are not telling you to what percentage that drops to. I couldn't see that anywhere. It's not in their literature. So is it to 70% or is it to 80%? I'm going to assume 80% because that is the typical standard when somebody says 3,500 to 4,000 watt hours. So this one's 4,000. That's good. All right, now it has 4 120 volt plugs. They are on the back. There are 2 USB-C ports. One of those is a 20 watt port and the other is a 140 watt port. It also has 2 USB-A ports, and it has 2 5521 DC ports, which are 12 volt 3 amps. And it has your typical car port or cigarette lighter style port, which is a 12 volt 10 amp port. It's got an LED, which is nice, or a light on the front. Those are nice because, folks, having a light is really kind of nice. And of course you get the blinking one and all that. But I actually was using a power station in my car not too long ago, and it was at night, and I was trying to get something hooked up, and I couldn't see the ports to plug it into, and I was actually getting really frustrated. Then I remembered it had a light. I reached down, touched the light button, the light came on, and lo and behold, I could see what I was doing. And so every time I say that I would like to see a light on a power station, there is a reason for that. It is really nice when you're in the dark and you're trying to plug something into a power station that maybe you've even turned on and you can't quite see the port that you're trying to plug into. It's kind of nice to be able to turn that light on and see. So that's something I like to see on all of them. Now, this charges at a maximum of 1,000 watts. It is switchable, and there's actually a switch on the unit itself that allows you to switch from 500 to 1,000 watts. I like that. You can also do it within their app, and their app is actually pretty good. Now, it'll take 500 watts of solar, that is 11.5 to 50 volts. So now, for a 1,024 watt hour power station, 500 watts with a maximum of 50 volts is fine. Most of your portable solar panels are only around 26 to 40 volts, so you're not going to have an issue there. But as I say with all of these power stations, if you're going to make them expandable, and I'm sorry, Aferiy, I gotta dig you on this one, then you need more solar. If you build a power station expandable to 5 kilowatt hours, well, you need at least 800 watts of solar. 12 to 1,500 watts of solar would be much, much better for a unit like this. And yes, I understand it's only a 1,024 watt hour battery. When you make these units, put charge controllers on the batteries then. Now, it will charge at 1,500 watts if you've got utility power or a generator, so you can use that 1,000 watt charging with the onboard charger, and then you can add 500 watts of solar to get a total of 1,500 watts of charging. But still, that means you got to run a generator. And if somebody just wants to run solar, 500 watts of solar is not enough. So I'm not going to beat that dead horse, but I want to see more solar input on these units. Anytime you make an expandable unit, you need more solar. The unit by itself only weighs 25.5 pounds. I like that. Very, very light. And honestly, for a 1,000 watt hour unit, it may be one of the smaller units of its size. Now, the inverter at 1,800 watts is a little bit smaller than some, but quite frankly, the same as most. Most in this class have 1,800 watt inverters. They say this will peak at 3,600 watts. Price-wise, I saw them on Amazon right now anyway at just under $430 for the base unit itself, not including the battery. These also work as UPS devices with a 10 millisecond switch time, which is better than a lot of the units I've tested. A lot of the units I've tested are 20 milliseconds. So I like to see that. Very good. Now, I'm going to shut everything off, disconnect the expansion battery, and then drain this unit with my with my power station killing ceramic heater, which it's going to be about 95 degrees out today, so I'm going to have to turn my air conditioning up so that it really draws the heat out of here when I do that. But I will go ahead and drain this unit right down to 0 and then charge it right back up and see how it does. We'll see what kind of efficiency we get when we push that 1,800 watt inverter all the way. Does it get too hot? Will it do it? Does it fault out on me? Does it die? Do I let the magic smoke out? Let's find out. Stand by. I'm going to get to it in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and set this on the ground, but we're going to turn the power station on and get this thing fired up. So first, we'll put this on the ground. It's going to get warm in here, folks. Now it's time to turn everything on. Okay, power's on. Alrighty. Now, turn this guy on. There we go, 120.4. All right, now, let's go ahead, turn this on full blast. First thing I want to see is, does the voltage stay relatively stable? 118.7, not terrible. 1,598 watts, a high so far 1,701. Now this has already dropped to 98%. I expect this, folks. It's going to drain very, very quickly. At a 1,500 watt draw, a 1,000 watt hour battery is not going to last very long. In fact, in 30 minutes, we will have drawn 750 watts or watt hours off of this unit, which is really going to put it down about 25%. It says it can run 30 minutes, so we're going to find out how close to 1,024 watt hours will this give me at that high rate of discharge. Once we see that, we'll get it charged back up at the 1,000 watt rate. And then we're going to drain it again at a lower rate just to see, is it more efficient at, say, 500 watts versus 1,500 watts. 83.6% efficiency. You know what? It just beat the big name brand that I reviewed not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago, that only got 82% running this heater. Now, it did drop to 118.2 volts on the output. That is within North American specs. I'm not trying to drive multiple items at maximum power. I don't think you should do that on these small power stations anyway, but I just drove this thing right down to 0% and it didn't completely shut down. And actually right now when I push the button, it's actually still showing me this, which means it still has power. All right, folks, so not bad. We'll get it charged back up and find out how much power it uses to fully charge itself back up. But the fact that it did what it did, I'm kind of impressed. And it was actually really quiet. And even now, well, look at this, folks. Check this out. I'm going to take my mic and put it right by the unit. Now, the unit just ran a 1,500 watt heater until it was completely dead to 0. And it's currently 1,000 watts. I'm putting my mic around the unit. This thing is quiet. That's really quiet, folks. I'm impressed. And it's not hot either. So now we're going to let this charge back up. It's charging at 1,002 watts. We'll start another drain test and keep going, folks. Well, folks, I got to tell you, I've tested a lot of these power stations. This one may be the most efficient when it comes to charging that I've had yet. In fact, it took 1,082 watt hours to charge a 1,024 watt hour power station from 0 to 100%. That's phenomenal. That's way better than, well, all the others I've tested. But it was an EcoFlow that got 82% using the same heater with the same discharge rate on it, and this one is basically 84%. It's 83.59% is what I got out of it anyway. That's actually really good. It's better than most. But guess what? We're going to do it again. I'm going to kick the heater on. Now I got my other heater that only uses about 500 watts when it's running on the first setting. So we're going to start that now and just see how well this does with that, because frankly, it's already beaten a lot of other units. So let's try that. All right, folks. Well, here we are. It's the next day and I've done a bunch more testing. And what I got when drawing at just under 500 watts was 92.5% efficiency on the system. That's actually very good. It ranks up there with just about any unit I've tested. From an efficiency standpoint, when you buy the Aferiy P180, I have to say, it's going to give you more of that 1024 watt-hour battery than a lot of units I've tested, if not, frankly, all of them, including some big name brands. So very good Aferiy. It's also very quiet. I was impressed with just how quiet it was. And it's easy to integrate with its expansion battery. Now, Aferiy tells me that you can also use the larger expansion battery with this unit. I wasn't able to do that myself, but it could be because I damaged that battery in some previous testing. So I'm not going to hold that against them. Good job, Aferiy. Nice little unit. I think it's a great one. Check it out. I'll drop a link down below, and I think they have a big sale going on, Prime Day sale or something like that right now, so might get a good deal. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Meanwhile, I'm going to throw another video right over here for you to check out. Thanks again, folks. Y'all have a great day, and thanks to all my members. I really appreciate your support. The old Jarhead out.